And so you're seeing the shocking changes in a woman. Does anyone think you can go from that before photo to the after photo while being natural? Coach Greg, in today's video, really interesting case. We have Addison Shields, who claims to be 100% natural. Now, if you've checked out any of your videos, you're thinking, how on earth could this girl be actually natural? And so she went on a podcast with her brother, and they claimed that she has a rare genetic disorder. And so with this disorder, she's saying that what it does is it prevents your body from storing body fat on your extremities, like your legs and arms, and that you store all of your fat on your face and in your torso. And so because of that, it allows her to have legs that look like they belong on the Miss Olympia stage. And not only that, an amazing pair of glutes. And so we're going to see, is it possible that this girl is actually natural, that this genetic disorder has caused all of these gains? And so this all started approximately 2 years ago. She's about 23 years of age, only 21. She sets foot on stage and she gets a very low placing because of her suspicious looking glutes. People said her glutes looked unnatural, that perhaps it was implants. And I looked at her photo and I must say her glutes did not look natural to me. I'm not saying that it's implants, and in fact, she proved that it's not implants. She got an MRI done, and in the MRI, there was no implant whatsoever. But people, they have to realize this. Oftentimes, women get injections in their glutes. For example, hyaluronic acid. You inject this fluid into the glutes and it expands and swells and makes the glutes look bigger than last time. Tons of girls in the Olympus stage have done the exact same thing. It's like when men inject synth-oil and other products into their biceps or shoulders, delts and so on, and it makes them look larger than life. Looks overly round, suspicious looking. And so I'm not saying she had glute implants, but it does look like she did something. And you all know some women, they also resort to a BBL. They take fat from other areas in the body and inject it into their legs. And so that is why a glute can look suspicious and not real.
We got quite a bit, especially on Instagram, because the sizzle reel that we made and went super viral, and we got tons and tons of hate. Majority of everything, we just blocked them or hid the comments.
And so this is what's become. They post a video, goes viral. People commenting on her fake glutes, saying that she's not natural. And so what do? Let's just delete all the comments and block them. Is that really what people are going to do now? When people don't agree with something you're saying, you're just going to delete those comments and act as if they don't exist.
You made that reel specifically to obviously engage the audience. People took that as we were spilling all the information in that 40 seconds or whatever it was.
And so what does he expect? He makes a reel, takes out certain parts of information, misleads everyone, creates controversy, people start commenting on it, and he deletes the comments.
Steroids was the big thing this time, right? It wasn't glute implants, it was steroids.
And so this time, it's not about having glute implants, it's about her being not natural.
We went into the entire spiel of why our bodies hold fat the way that they hold fat, and why we look more muscular per se due to the genetic condition.
And so they say it's because they have CGL. And so let's look at some of the things related to CGL. CGL is a recessive disorder characterized by a near complete lack of adipose tissue from birth and later in life. The development of metabolic complications such as diabetes mellitus, hypertriglyceridemia, and hepatic steatosis. I can't even pronounce a lot of the things it's going to do, but it doesn't look very good. And when you analyze other people that have the same exact thing, many of them, they look like they cannot eat. And the reason for that is, well, they can't absorb the nutrients properly. Very difficult for them to properly put on muscle to train and so on. And listen to this, average life expectancy, 30 years. 30 years. This seems to be a very serious complication. It doesn't seem like the kind of disease that you want to have. People who have lipodystrophia can end up with extra fat deposits in their legs, on their face, the back of their neck, or abdomen. And so it doesn't say anything about building 3 times as much muscle as that of a man. I don't read anywhere where it says people who have this disorder, they're jacked like a Mr. Olympia bodybuilder. I don't see anything that says that.
A genetic mutation, you can look it up if you want. It's called CGL for short, but congenital generalized lipodystrophy. It is way more pronounced in women, which is the difference in what we look like.
And so when we compare her to her brother who have the exact same thing, in comparison, she seems to be bigger than him. And so he describes why. He has a problem with his knee. He hasn't been able to train his legs harder than last time. And so what they're saying is this disorder simply allows him to put on so much muscle while not carrying any body fat.
I have an actual hole in my knee and cannot place load on it under or past 90 degrees. So I have to do a bunch of really weird workouts.
Last I checked, you don't need to squat or leg press past 90 degrees to put on muscle. That is bullshit. The guy can still train his legs. Perhaps he goes halfway down. He does partials. It's not going to be reason enough to prevent him from training. He said, I can't go past 90 degrees. I had a hip operation. Doctor said, don't go past 30 degrees. You can still put on muscle even if you don't do a full rep squat.
Obviously, you can do a blood test, okay, which I don't want to speak for you, but I'm pretty sure we're very comfortable with doing. What do you think would be a way for people to prove it? Or do you just, at this point, just give up on it?
How can we actually prove that you're natural? I mean, after all, they're saying she's 100% natural, that CGL explains everything. But is there in fact a way to prove that she's natural? Well, they said in fact they could take a blood test or a urine test or perhaps enter a drug tested competition. But she's saying regardless of that, people won't believe me. They'll say, oh, maybe you just cycled off during that test. Well, this is all you need to do. Take the test, the blood work, the urine test while you're looking your best. If you're doing your blood work and you look shredded, you look amazing, you look incredible, chances are that you got that while being natural. But here's the thing. Does anyone out there actually think that they haven't done blood work on her? That they haven't done any urine testing whatsoever? She has a rare genetic disease, one that comes with many complications. Do you really think that they're just saying to them, oh, don't worry about it. We're not going to test you. Do you not think the doctors are going to be up to date with this and still having you do regular testing? And so where are those tests? Why aren't we showing them? If we're so adamant on proving that we're natural, why aren't we giving any evidence to support that?
The body holds fat differently. You can't hold fat on your extremities. So your arms and your legs cannot hold body fat. They don't. So all of it goes to your face and your torso.
She wants to be a women's wellness competitor. Perhaps her ambition is to be on the Miss Olympia stage. Why would she be natural? I mean, she's already competed with suspicious looking glutes. And so what makes more sense? That she has a rare disease that most people die by the age of 30 that causes so many complications, and many people, they look like they can't even build any muscle whatsoever, but that she has a rare form of this kind, so rare that it causes you to be shredded everywhere in all the good places, but remain healthy looking in the face, and you have no negative side effects whatsoever. Or that, or she's taking Anavar. Which do you think is more probable? Here's the thing that gets me. If you want people to think that you're natural, why are you posting videos that deliberately try to show people that you're not? Start of the video, it says 163 pounds. She's 5 feet 4 inches tall. 23 years old, 5'4", shredded, 163 pounds. That is larger than I was when I won the Canadian National Bodybuilding Competition when I was 25 years of age. I weighed 149 shredded, and I'm 2 inches taller, yet she's 163 pounds. Does that sound natural? Do you really think a natural female at 23 years of age is going to have more muscle than I did, and I have amazing genetics, when I won the Canadian National Bodybuilding Championships? And look at her legs! And what is to follow? Her at 145 pounds with clearly still gifted genetics, amazing legs, but not nearly as lean. And so she's literally 18 pounds lighter while wearing that red top than she is at the start of the video. Notice, it doesn't say 3-month transformation. It doesn't say year. There's no timeline whatsoever. And so you're seeing the shocking changes in a woman. Does anyone think you can go from that before photo to the after photo while being natural? My personal opinion is I doubt she's even natural in the before photo. Yeah, I get it, she has CGL, but where does it say that someone with CGL has their legs of Robert Forsman? I mean, have you seen Robert Forsman's quads? Does he also have CGL? Does anyone with massive legs and a smaller upper body have CGL? Or do you think maybe she competes in wellness, so she focuses on her lower body and she doesn't train as hard in the upper body? And so they're saying with CGI, you can't store body fat in the extremities. Well, I don't see much fat anywhere. Does she look like she has a fat stomach to you? I mean, if she's storing no body fat in her legs, body fat's gonna be stored somewhere. I read it stores in the face, the neck, the abdomen, and so on. What I see is a visible six-pack. I don't see fat anywhere. And so the number one comment on that post, how long have you been on gear? I mean, isn't it obvious? Does she actually look natural to you? And let's assume she is natural. Let's give her the benefit of the doubt. If she looks like this natural, what would she look like on performance-enhancing drugs? Would she in fact be bigger than Robert Forsman? Would she be bigger than Ronnie Coleman? I'm asking you, what would she look like? And so if you claim to be natural but only enter non-tested competitions, you never show your blood work, and you look like this, and you make videos trying to make it look like you made mind-blowing changes in a transformation, why would you think people think that you're not natural? Not healthy for a young woman, long-term effects you will have to live with forever. Her response, not on anything, so I'm okay. Thanks for the concern. And so let's actually assume that she's not on anything. Does anyone think that it's healthy to be this lean as a female? There's something known as amenorrhea, part of the female athlete triad. When you train harder than last time and you don't eat enough and your body fat's extremely low, you're doing tons of cardio, it's very difficult on your hormones. And if you're shredded like this, you can't convince me that you're healthy. And if you are, show me the blood work. I'm trying to look like the before. And if I'm being perfectly honest, I don't think the before is natural either. Rare, perhaps 1 in 1,000 girls going to look that good as she was in the before photo. But let's give her credit. There's no way she doesn't have amazing genetics. She has top tier genetics. Even if she's on performance enhancing drugs, all of them, of which I didn't say she's on a lot. Perhaps she's just on small doses. I don't know. I still believe she has amazing genetics, and I still believe that she trains harder than last time. I believe she puts in the work in both cardio and training, and that she has an excellent diet. I mean, after all, if she has this rare genetic condition, she's going to have to eat a certain way. The body has a much difficult time absorbing nutrients. What do you think is more likely? That she has an ultra-rare form of disorder that only manifests itself in all the positives, none of the bad. Doesn't store body fat. Everything she eats turns to muscle. I watched in a video, she said she eats 4,000 calories a day. That she's been on a lean bulk for years. Everything turns into muscle. Do you really think that that disorder exists? It's not possible. I don't believe that this disorder can cause this kind of transformation. But what I do believe is that if you have great genetics and use performance-enhancing drugs, that you could in fact get this physique. It's not the only physique in the world that looks like this. I've seen several wellness competitors, Miss Olympia competitors and so on, that have even larger legs than this. And even leaner than this. And so I'm not saying you need to do any of this. I'm not saying that it actually matters if you're natural or not. But if you're saying you're natural and you want people to believe it, you need to offer some evidence to support that belief. And so is it not more likely that perhaps you wanted to do really well in competition, that you're willing to do anything to place first, and that you're blaming CGL for all that has transpired? I don't know. Only time will tell. And so I'd love to see you compete in a drug-tested competition, look your best, get drug-tested and pass, and then you could say, hey guys, I took the test and it passed. What more than you want? Let me know in the comments section, interested in harder than last time supplements like G-Test to boost your testosterone, GO2 Max to boost your endurance, to have better recovery between sets. Use code Greg for 15% off. Click the link in description. Subscribe, click the bell button, comment to boost the algorithm, watch one of those 2 bloops. And if you're interested in the training book, the cookbook, the Circle Diet book, any of the books, PDF or hard copy, head over to the website. If you have no money, not to worry, free diet and training program, close to 50 pages. Become one of my 300,000 plus newsletter subscribers. Head over to the website, code Greg 15% off. And until next time, I am out.